So Life Path 9, the journey for you, Life Path 9, is no longer living in the past. I want to read this, okay, because I got my notes. No longer living in the past by embracing the present and being open towards a brighter future or a brighter tomorrow. That is the theme, the journey. Life Path 9 is about endings. Many times people hear that they don't like, they're like, oh my God, what's that mean? But when there's an ending, there's a new beginning. If you choose to look at it that way, they usually say that Life Path 9 is humanitarian. I don't think so. I think anybody can be a humanitarian. All the numbers could be humanitarian. But what a Life Path 9, what I've seen in all the Life Path 9s is that y'all are self-sacrificing. Because when you think about humanitarian, they're thinking about someone else. But a Life Path 9, you self-sacrifice yourself. You always sacrifice yourself for the benefit of someone else, not necessarily the benefit of you. And that's essentially what a humanitarian is. But I wouldn't call you that, because humanitarian, you could think philanthropist. And the Life Path 9s that I know of, none of them were humanitarians. They sacrificed themselves for a cause or whatever, or for another person, or for a relation. You sacrificing yourself for a relationship. You sacrificing yourself for children. You sacrificing yourself for like what everybody else thinks, for your family, but you never really pour into yourself because you don't have nothing, because you're giving it to everyone else. The funny thing is about Life Path 9 is that you want to be aware of when you are detaching and attaching, because the 9 is about letting go. But Life Path 9 actually has a challenge with that. But when a Life Path 9 is in a relationship, they are very detached. They're quite detached. My mother was a Life Path 9, and you saw what she did to me. Okay? And my grandma was a Life Path 9. So you see, it was very different choices that they made. When you're in relationships and when you're present, you are quite detached from things. But when it's time for you to let go of something, that's when all of a sudden you become attached. Like you become you want to hold on to what don't serve you no more. Life Path 9. And that's something you gotta let go to go to your next level, is letting go. And there's going to be a lot of endings and beginnings for you constantly in every cycle. You got to know, okay, this is ending. Okay, that lets me know that I'm going through the next cycle. Okay, when something's ending, that let you know, okay, the cycle's ending. It's time for me to prepare for the next cycle. When something is beginning, okay, this is the beginning of the cycle. Okay, let's get it. Like that's the indication for you to know where you're at. And you tend to be an old soul. Your life has lived many lives. Okay, you've lived many lives, and you encompass all the numbers. So everything that everybody else went through, all the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you have lived through that. You embody that. So that's why you seem so wise. Even as a young person, you just seem so. My little boy, he's Life Path 9, and he just as wise as he wants to be. He just knows how to just do stuff. You are here to surrender. So even with the beginnings and the endings and the ebbs and flow, it is here to teach you how to surrender, because you don't get to control your life. So you're not the Life Path 8. The Life Path 8 is here to embody control. I'm in control of my life. I'm in control of my resources. But then when you get to 9, you're like, I'm just surrendering because I ain't in control of nothing. You have to surrender, because you don't get to decide when that cycle comes for it to end. You don't get to decide that. So you can hold on to that person or that thing or that situation. But if you keep holding on to it, it's going to end, and it's not going to end well. So that's why you have to surrender. Like, you know what? I have no control in this situation. Let go. Your motto is let go, let God. That's your motto. And that's why it's important for Life Path 9s to have a belief system. I don't care what belief system it is. You got to believe in something, because that's what's going to anchor you as you go through the cycles of life, the endings and the beginning. Your belief system is what grounds you and keeps you anchored in the uncertain times. That always happens for you all the time. You have family issues as well. And one of the things that I read that I wanted to say was that with Life Path 9, with your family issues, it says you felt unloved or abandoned as a child, or perhaps responsible for your parents. That has been a theme for a Life Path 9. And it's funny because I felt that way about my mother. Because my mother's a Life Path 9, but I felt like, because she abandoned me, and I felt responsible for her at times. And it's interesting that I felt that from her being a Life Path 9. Like she moved in that way that maybe she felt, but she inflicted that on me. So I took that on. I don't know. I know that was keeping it real, but hey, I just want to keep it real about my life. The thing about Life Path 9s is that y'all are super creative. There's nothing you guys can do, because remember, you embody all the numbers. So whatever it is that you choose to do or you want, you can have it. You can be it. You have the energy. The universe got your back. So even though with your life, the universe is just, the universe got your back. You can do whatever you want. You really can. You can do whatever you want to do, and you are divinely protected because of that. But you have to what? Surrender and trust and know that you're divinely protected, even through the endings and the beginnings that happens that you have no control over. Often feel out of place, as though you don't belong. You probably feel like you an alien. Like you probably like, I don't fit in. And you don't. That's because at any given moment you got to learn how to let go. So you don't want to get attached to anything, but you can still be present. You can still be available to the people in your life, but you're not going to find nobody on your frequency, because nobody is on your frequency, okay? You're not going to find nobody that gets you, because hell, half the time you don't get you. So it's like, just go with it. Just surrender to it. You're always going to feel out of place because you don't belong here. Your soul is about to transcend out. So you don't belong. You about to leave. So you don't want to fit in, because if you fit in, then you're not going to go to the next cycle of your soul's existence, because you detach and you're going to stay. Like the people that are about to die, and the reason why they just can't die because they're trying to hold on to the people that are living. So when the person that is living like, hey, you can let go, I'll be okay, then they die. So it's kind of like with you. You're not ever going to feel like you belong, because you don't belong here. None of us belong here. None of us belong here. We all came here. We're just passing through. But you are present to that. You're more so present to, yeah, I ain't from Earth. I'm from somewhere else. Y'all tend to not be good listeners, and you tend to want to tell people what they need to be doing, and you want to be that guide and source, but that's not how you make an impact on people. You don't make an impact on people with your words. You make an impact with people through your example, through how you live your life, or how you show up. If you never said a single word, but you embodied what you know to be true, then that's when people are going to follow and listen to you and take heed of your wisdom. Embody your wisdom. Don't be telling everybody your wisdom. No, we want to see it so we know that it's true for us. And your boundary is with your family. You definitely got to have boundaries with your family. You definitely got to handle your family with a long handle spoon until they can honor your standard of living. A boundary of how to give and receive, because you're always giving. Remember, you're self-sacrificing. So it's okay that you want to give, but you got to also receive. And if you give something, make sure you make it a goal. Okay, what am I going to receive after giving this? Not necessarily from that person, but just open yourself. Even if that's just opening yourself to the universe and say, hey, I want to receive love. Hey, I want to receive such and such. I think it's more so about you opening your channel to receive versus think you got to go out to the people and get, because that's what you're here to do. You are here to be a giver, a provider. Even if you're a man or a woman, you are here to provide wisdom and forgiving, a boundary with forgiving, because you are very compassionate and you are very giving. But there needs to be a boundary to that. I forgive you, but it doesn't mean that I still hold a place in my life for you. Or I forgive you, and what that forgiveness looks like is that I change my behavior that allow you to treat me that way in the first place. You got to figure out what that is, because forgiveness is your superpower. But if you don't fully understand and hold yourself accountable and make that person hold themselves accountable, it can also be your kryptonite. Because especially if you forgave someone and you keep being in the cycle of them keep doing the same thing that they're doing, it's not them, it's you, because you have yet identified the change within your behavior that won't allow them to do that, or the change in your behavior that won't make space for them no more. I forgive you, but goodbye. Like, no, like, and I send love and compassion your way. But, that's the boundary that you are here to embody.